Hi guys, hope you all are doing well and are enjoying the weekend, right? So, reflecting back, I think we've had quite a lot happening around in our community discussion for a very long time, right? And we've also had a YouTube community in the past. We also had Telegram community, different modes, different methodologies, different offerings, and then recently that thought rekindled, and the opportunity to relook at the community that we have and how can we help each other, right? That's the thought that came, and I had posted it on both on Twitter and on YouTube. The responses were overwhelming, right, in terms of the interest that was shown by all of you. So here I am trying to pilot this, right? And I'm using the word pilot because I really want to see how this thing evolves, because there are several dimensions to it in order for any community to be successful, right? So that's the stage I am at. So if you log in to the website, which is simple, candlesticks.com, which is what our website is, and you see the community button in here, right? And I forgot, along with YouTube and Telegram groups, we also had Rigi, right? Which Rigi is now out of the business. So if you click on this community, it will take on our web page to this, right, where you have the join community button, right, which will direct you to message me in WhatsApp. But I'm in here today to go through, to touch on our community, right? Because I think it's important for me to one share that message so we all are aligned, right? So what is a virtual community? Like I said earlier, it's an interactive space where we all can come together, both technically and emotionally, right? Something that I had touched on in my post, right? We often think um, you know that we need technical guidance, but the reality that I have learned personally is that trading is an isolated business, right? You're sitting all alone, you don't have any colleague to talk to, right? I mean, of course you do have a lot of social media posts here and there, but hey, that's more a different game altogether, which is not what the social media offers, right? So technically and emotionally, right? Imagine talking to someone over a Zoom meeting and having the dialogue. That's a different experience than posting it on Twitter and or in other social media platforms, right? Which where typically one gets trolled instead of getting any kind of support mostly, right? So this is a place to practice, the market analysis. We'll discuss a lot of ideas, right? I mean, we all come together, and I think over a period of time, we will build confidence, right? All without the pressure of real money, right? Keep that in mind. I'm, looking at mature people, right? This community is for them who are, mature enough and have been in the market. Typically a full timer and or a part timer who understands the bigger picture, right? And this by no means is a trade recommendation group, right? But learning and a support ecosystem for traders who want to think independently and develop discipline and find motivation through collective growth, right? That's the community all about. And our purpose is to share market outlooks and trading perspectives, learn from diverse views, because I keep saying views are views, right? They're never right or wrong. They just get validated or invalidated, right? And real time discussions, right? Imagine on the live market you have someone to talk to and share your ideas, and openly, freely, with that mutual respect, right? And build that emotional strength, discipline, and connect with the like-minded traders to overcome isolation that we touched on, right? What makes us different? This is absolutely no tips, no buy sell calls, right? Just analysis, logic, and learning, right? We all come with a different technical analysis knowledge. For example, I strongly believe on Elliott wave, um, and someone else could be a strong indicator based trader, right? For example, moving average, and the other could be a volume profile trader, right? And one could be GAN. So imagine when we bring all of this knowledge together, how strong the analysis could be, right? And yeah, community support network where we all can lift each other up, right? This is not a place to troll. And then emotional resilience, right? I think quite a lot of emotions will get automatically addressed when we all start talking, right? The fear, greed, and the self doubt that we often get into, right? Self doubt is specifically when you go wrong, right? You're shaken out. I think that's the big advantage, right? And then mutual respect that we touched on, right? Every view matters, right? And we will have to respect each other's view and not argue, right? That I am right and you're wrong. It's about hearing everyone's view and only shared growth, right? That's the whole intent of this group, right? How the community works, right? To maintain clarity and the smoothness of the community. The mode, of course, I'm looking at some of the online platforms, right? Currently, I have a Zoom license. We may move to Microsoft Teams or Zoho Meetings, which typically, I'll be communicating through a group that I will create for those who are part of this community for every day, right? The goal is to have a call link shared every day in the morning only to the members, and we all join. Right, and not necessarily on all days, or we may not be there throughout the entire day, right? Because like I say, some days you make big, some days small, and some days no trade, right? This does not mean that mandatorily that the room is going to be open and we're going to be trading all the time, right? And you may participate using video, audio, or text, right? Depending on you, because not everyone is a camera friendly person, right? And so you can turn your camera on. If you don't, you don't. You can speak. This is going to be more a dialogue based discussions, right? That's what I always have believed in. Dialogue has to be, that's when the learning happens, right? Structure daily, weekly discussions, typically daily, right? That we spoke about. Members to present your chart, right? Don't always expect me to come up and show my chart and my analysis, which I would, but at the same time, your chart is very, very important. It could be, you know, index or anything that you've looked at, right? You should not expect moderator, administrator to lead the or conduct the everyday session, right? Don't expect that I'm going to come and share the daily analysis and give you, views or trading ideas or whatever, right? That's not the intent, right? And like the community thrives. When I use the word community, it means that it thrives where each member contributes to learning and discussion, right? Which is the whole game of this community, right? And if you don't contribute, there's no learning and the discussion, right? In either forms, right? Video, audio, or even text for that matter. So that engagement is very, very important, which is what takes me to the participation, right? Members are encouraged to share your analysis, observation, and reflections regularly, because if you show up once in a day, and you're active, super active on one day, and then you're not to be seen next 2 weeks, I think that's an opportunity that will only help you to be better, right? At times we think we know it all, but I always look at opportunities, right? If someone is sharing a view, I think it's important for me to accept that, reflect, and I may or may not go or execute that view, but I think it's very important, so that attendance and recommend it, right, for consistent engagement. While we can't be engaged throughout the market sessions or every day, which is very understandable, right? On one day you may not, or your view may not be that I'm not trading for several reasons or even technical. You don't have to show up, right? Learning philosophy, the community believes in teaching you how to fish, not giving you fish. So this is not a training community where you can come and learn, right? If you're looking at that, I will come and learn technical analysis here, no. But it's about how you collectively uh, can learn from others, right? View and not a training. Uh, will not provide trading trips, right? No one will provide. Learning happens through sharing and observing. That's the right. And then the support system we spoke about, right? Isolation and in the emotional challenges. And the aim is to build a positive, encouraging, and non-judgmental environment, right? I've been in this IT industry for 20 years, and I keep telling this to me, and I apply it to a large extent. I try not to judge anyone, and if you're following, you know me, because I think that gives you that stability and that positivity, specifically when you don't judge. I respect everyone's view. I may or may not accept it, but I think that non-judgmental is very very important, right? If someone is sharing a view and if that goes wrong, I never start judging that, including my own self, right? If I am wrong, I don't judge, saying, hey, I went wrong, and things like that. Learning is one way, but judging others is not the right thing. Communication, we spoke about it, right, through virtual collaboration, live meetings, and all the official announcements would be made, right? So to build this entire stuff up, there is already a cost gone, right? Including the content on this web page, right? For everything there is cost, nothing comes for free. And if you offer something for free, it's never valued, right? And if I recall on the community in the past, on YouTube, Telegram, on Rigi, we've always charged, right? One, to upkeep the cost for infrastructure, tools, and administrative expenses. But at the same time, I think a cost brings that commitment from you, something that I've learned. If I offer this for free, we may have 1,000 people, but I can tell you this community will end, because if I look at the free community that we had on YouTube, I hardly saw any post, right? So this is going to be costing money, and DM me and the price will vary, right? And it's not a commercial venture, but my goal is to upkeep this community, right? For infra, licenses, time, administrative tasks. The good thing is I am keeping this platform independent, right, and GST independent. And I'll tell you why. If I were to launch this through any of the platforms that are available who offer Telegram groups, blah blah, these platforms charge 5% as their commission. That's one. Number two, any gateway payments that happens, there is a cost, for that as well, right? And then comes KYC, and then GST, right? So I am eliminating all that and giving that benefit, to me from an expense, because if I add all of this together, I can tell you 30% of it approximately goes of your cost directly goes to other people. That's what I've learned, right? To GST, to platform fee, to payment gateway, blah blah. And then of course there's a lot more admin work, right? But that's the upkeep fee that we would be charging, right? So DM me. I'm not going to announce the price here, because I'm looking at it at changing over a period of time. But I can tell you, this is going to be value for money, right? And as a pilot, I'm going to keep it much lower, and depending on the response, since this is a pilot, I don't want to do that now. So DM me and I'll share the price. In fact, I haven't thought about how much should I charge, right? Should it be 100 rupees per day, 200 rupees per day? I don't know, right? So DM me and I'll share the cost to you. And the limitation of liability, right? None of us are liable for any financial loss, emotional distress, or consequences arising from the use of the information discussed in this community, right? Typically, people go and say, hey, I took a trade because that person in that community came and shared that view and I followed it. You are responsible for your own, profits and loss. So legally, I want to be sure. And with that, right, you know how to join. WhatsApp us, right? If you click on this join community, you'll be directed to the WhatsApp, and absolutely, I will you will need to share your details, right? And agree to the terms and conditions. If I look at the terms and conditions, this is some of it, right? Your member conduct, nature of information, member conduct, peer support, confidentiality and privacy, cost and contributions, limited liability, right? Your amendment if I make any, and then your details along with your signature and PAN card and Aadhaar card. We don't have e-signature, right? That's where what I mentioned earlier, right? Earlier KYC, we were spending around I think 2% of the overall cost. So to eliminate that, this has to be a manual work, right? You have to acknowledge and send this over. All of that will be shared in the email once you contact and show interest with us. Guys, let me know if you have any questions and you know put it in the comment section. I'm going to upload this on YouTube. Cheers. Bye now.